All right, so we're live. Just waiting on some people to come in, see how things are going here. See if I can find myself here on YouTube. Who is upcoming? All right. Turn my volume down on this. All right. See if anybody picks me up today. Okay, they're connected. That's good. Oh, I got one viewer. Who do we got? Tim. Hey, how you doing, Tim? In action, yep. Okay, so what you been up to today, Tim? It's been a bit chilly. I just went out and I popped the top looking on my girls, and they all bundled up. They even got their coats and scarves on today. I sort of think it's sort of funny that they have been when hibernating. Yeah, I didn't get up to about 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. I had to get out of bed. My back was hurting. See here, try to move you over here. Try to get onto. Hey, Lee joined me. What's up, guys? I'm trying to get into find my YouTube. So I try to get into this thing. Hey, tell Hannah we said hello. We're doing all right. My wife is watching TV, hibernating as well. So, so we're doing pretty good. I built a couple boxes the last few days, bottom boards and boxes, trying to get ready for some splits. So that's where I'm at. Well, tell your sister I said hello, happy birthday too. I don't know her, but happy birthday. Will you let her know that? I'm still playing around with this stuff, trying to figure out how everything's going with this live. So I haven't been playing a lot with it. I'm getting on here at least. So that's doing good. And this time I actually have it hooked up directly. I want to try to put the link in there. If anybody else decides they want to come in, there's three of them, three people in here. There's Lee, Tim, and who the other one? I must have missed them. All right. Try to finish this setup. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna put an invitation up in there. Anybody wants to come in? Now I gotta figure out how to send it now. You guys are probably laughing at me. There we go. You gotta do this on a regular basis, huh? You're gonna share and see what happens, huh? Oh yeah, that might bring some more people in there. Hey Lisa, if anybody wants to join, I done pinned the link uh, in the YouTube. So see it on both sides of the fence now. So what's Lisa doing today? What are you doing? Yeah, I said something last night when I was in the stream, Tim, that I was going to um, trying to go live today to see what goes on. I try to beef my numbers up. I'm at 582 right now, trying to get to 1,000. Uh, Beef my viewer time up as well. So I guess that's the best way to do it. Be doing lives. But finding the time to do it usually is in the opportune time to do it is I guess more appropriate. So we got sitting around here fighting a dog now. He wants to come over here and be puppy dog, lap dog. Yeah, it's Chloe. She comes. She had to be on the camera. She had to get her little 5 seconds of fame on YouTube. She couldn't let Jasper beat her. Uh, so yeah, so today's not been really that any busy. I just was sitting around. Actually, was trying to look at a movie on my Fire Stick, but got out there for a little while and was beating on some boxes. Got a couple together. So we just been sitting around. Sorry about that, bouncing all over the place. As you can see in my background, I'm sitting at Yappy's house. Uh, Decided I'd go visit him today. Change my background a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how to do that for a while. I'm finally figured it out. What was that? Heard chime. It's it's not been too bad today. It's been cool. It's been in the 40s and windy. Feeling like it's about 38 to 20 degrees, somewhere in there is what it feels like to me. Cutting to my bones. But you say that to any of the guys up north, they start laughing at you. I've been in colder weather. That's why I don't live in colder weather. But the only problem about the cold here, Lee, is that, like it, it may not be that cold, but that humidity makes it feel worse, especially when the wind's kicking. So, you guys been vegging out. Have you guys even looked at your bees at all, Tim and Hannah? I know Hannah's probably biting at the bit if she hasn't been. hasn't seen them. I haven't been in mine for about 2 weeks, but they weren't. Last time I looked, they didn't have any queen cells. Then it started getting chilly. But I've had a lot of most of my boxes have got drones in them already. The red maple is fixing to pop. So I'm looking at it. Probably once it warms up, it's a little bit. They're gonna pop, and then the race is on. So that's why I've been trying to get some of these 10 frame deeps work, so that I can do some tearing off splits. You got 22 inches of snow in his yard. Holy mackerel! I knew he was talking about getting some snow on the live, but I didn't know there was gonna be that much. He got dumped. They dumped in his yard. 22 inches. You know that's darn near 2 foot deep. Just imagine the mess it's gonna make. Yeah, but you got to think that next weekend too is going to be causing uh some temperature issues. See, right now I'm at 42 degrees here in Dothan with a wind chill advisory and a freeze warning tonight. So that's how that's going to run. Man, yeah, it's funny when I looked at them. I just opened my boxes up real quick. Didn't even have to use a hive tool at all either. Just went and popped them open and looked in, and even even my all my double deeps had the five middle frames uh, covered up. I mean, where they're all the way to the top, snugged in there. So they're doing good. Even my pro nukes, they're all wrapped up tight too. Hey DC, how's the temperatures out there where you're at today? Or is it raining and wet? I have to fight that invisible moisture. You get the physical moisture. So anybody gonna take me up on my link? I thought I pinned it. Oh no, I didn't pin it. I am sorry, guys. I didn't pin that. Shoot, what the heck? I didn't want that. Okay, can I pin it with the mobile? Because none of my new messages came up. What the heck? Well, darn. Shoot fire and save the matches. Just give me a moment here to figure something out. No. Well, I can't get rid of unless Lee wants to share some information about getting rid of that what do you call it? The heart. Then See what happens here. And my computer's not wanting to cooperate with me. You saw bees flying. What temperatures are you at out there? Shoot, my bees are not broaching the front door at all. DC. I walk by and I think they're shooting me the middle finger. Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean they're in there tight. There we go, pinning it. There we go. Message is pinned. There we go. Yeah. And my regular oh crap. Yeah, call me Ed But 2.0 or 2.5. There's some other buttons involved in our game. Yeah, I'm sitting here clicking away, aren't I? Yeah, I'm taking some poop flights, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing with them buttons, but I'm still on. At least I'm functioning now. Uh, the messages are going. I got that pinned so somebody could join if they want to. Try and keep this thing going. But mind putting in at least an hour or so in. Yeah, I'm clicking on buttons today. Yeah, you sort of built like a little greenhouse. I saw DC about on some of your videos. Looks like there's a plastic being up there. Sort of makes it like a greenhouse effect on the top, which probably do you good. They won't uh they won't get that cold air coming in from the top. Later, Lee. I hope you have a good dinner with your sister. Hey, short pants. Yeah, he's good. I'm gonna get my grandkids out there with getting my daughter to even cooperate to talk to me, much less uh getting out there for them to go and get them to see the bees. I was telling him one time, to get you out there to help me with the bees. Hey, Michael, get him out there to help me with the bees. But he said, "But I'm gonna get stuck." I said, You probably will. I said, I get stung all the time. It's part of the job, part of working with the bees. But the reward outweighs the sting. You got an idea? Oh, you're making some AZ hives, DC. They I've been thinking about something like that too, but I just don't see the practicality of it at the moment. Other than if I go and move these bees to do some pollination locally, put like in a 10 by 8 trailer. But the problem is with that though, this the heat around here. How are you going to keep them cool in that environment? Because that tin on those trailers pull a lot of heat. Yeah, I've seen them. Oh, I see you rang the doorbell.
I didn't know if you could see me waving back there.
Yeah,
Hey!
I just happened to catch you waving on there. It caught my attention. Uh, so what you been? Well, you said you've been mulling around, sitting around today.
Lord, yes, sir. It's too cold. Get out and do anything. Closest
Yeah,
thing
I
we
got.
done, went out and got some lunch and come home.
Yeah, I've been at home all day. I got some pork roast in the crock pot, doing some slow cooking for tomorrow. Have me
Ooh,
some
I
pulled
heard that.
pork sandwiches.
Yes, sir. Some honey barbecue.
Yep, that's
There
probably what
you
I'm gonna
go.
do. Uh, I may pour. I had probably about halfway through, throw some honey in there and let it. I threw some wine in the bottom of the pot for moisture, and seasoned up the pork and put it in. So maybe I'll end up pouring off some honey in there. Who knows? It sounds like a good
Man,
idea.
I'll tell you something pretty good I picked up from one of the deacons at church. Whenever we do our big, uh, in January, we have the Bible conference. And it's usually about 3 days. And we feed the preachers and everybody real good and all that. But one of the days they do chicken. So, like half of it's barbecue chicken, the other half is just smoked chicken off the grill. But y'all got Sweet Baby Ray's, don't you?
Oh yeah, we got some on the shelf in the store.
Okay.
Yeah,
They take just the regular Sweet Baby Ray's, and they dump that whole deal into a big old mixing pot. And they take it's a 1 gallon jug of it's what they mix. Then they take a 1 can of Sprite and they mix in with that Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. And buddy, whenever that
yeah,
stuff comes off the grill and you lather it up with that barbecue and something with that Sprite, I guess makes it a little sweeter. But what have you, it is good.
yeah, man. Here, Chloe trying to get in on the picture here. Is our pup. I had her for about 3 years, 4 years, almost 4 years now. She'd be trying to get on my lap, be a lap dog.
So she like is it like Jasper getting in your lap whenever you go to film one of these live?
No, she just started doing it. She did it earlier. I think she's trying to get her 5 seconds of fame on YouTube.
Yeah. Or warm.
Yeah, come up over here looking again, seeing who I'm talking to. That's Tim. You see Tim over there? You can't get on my lap. You're not a lap pup. So there's Tracy from Three Oaks is on. So what's everybody else up to? You warmed up to 13 today. Some people are colder. I see. That's why I'm talking about cold. I'm cold down here because the weather, the cold air cuts through you. but it's not that cold. Just the humidity makes it feel that way. Where everybody else is actually going to get cold. It's getting cold, like 13 degrees or or lower. So I mean, they laugh at us, but let them come down here.
Well, we had a fella. There's a little old mom and pop yard sale they do from time to time over in Lucedale, right across state line. And there's a gentleman we talk to quite often, and you can tell he ain't from around here. But he moved down here from Iowa, I believe it was. And he said the whole point of him moving his family down here was to where he could wear shorts all year long, didn't have to worry about being cold, all this kind of good stuff, and just thinking paradise. And he said, "Man, I gotta say, about the second winter down here, it's colder down here than what it was up there at times." He said, "I just can't get the cold out of me." And I was like, "Well, everybody that comes down says it's all that blasted moisture in the air, what makes it so much colder here, but I don't know. I checked it yesterday and it was 87%.
Well, the humidity down where you're at's a lot higher than where we're at here. You're down closer to the coast than I am. I think Mississippi throws their extra moisture on you too.
Well, I guess if you was to look at it from a bird's eye view from where we are, and you do a wide radius, we got you got the Pascagoula River Delta over there in Mississippi. Then due south will be, I don't know, about 100 miles from the coast of the Gulf. But in between that, we got Mobile Bay on the other side of us, along with the river delta that runs up the whole Mobile County, which it runs up. So we're kind of in a horseshoe, if you will, when it comes to them big bodies of water. And those winds come in, I guess, do pick up and make it much colder. But you can sure tell a difference. Like it's Mardi Gras season now. And everybody be downtown the next few weeks for Mardi Gras. But buddy, you won't catch me down there because you can tell a good temperature difference between Mobile and coming to our house. Right there on that bay and that Mobile River, man, it's brutal.
Yeah, I've been through. I've been quite a few different places in the world. I think the coldest I've ever been has been like at Minot, North Dakota, where it's minus 16 with a negative 45 wind chill factor. But at 16 degrees, negative 16 degrees, I could walk outside just wearing a sweatshirt and regular clothes until the wind started blowing. And couldn't do that here. If it's negative 16 here, bro, I'm in. I'm not going out.
No, I ain't coming outside. I'm going to work. Calling, telling, no, I ain't coming.
I got a sight problem this morning. He said, "What do you mean you got a sight problem?" I just can't see myself coming in and it's cold.
Exactly. No, sir, especially if it's any kind of outside work. Or working
I do a mixture. I do a mixture. Some inside, some outside, under the house, in the attics. So I'm all over the place. My job.
That's kind of like us. We bounce around between a little of this and that, but thankfully, right now, we've been doing a bathroom remodel, so we've been inside, not having the weather ain't been as bad.
Yeah, I was running a table saw this morning. The wind is whipping in up under that carport. And I was like, I got there, cut the pieces, and I came back in to warm up. Then I went back out to glue and staple it all together. I made those boxes and bottom boards.
Well,
Hey Lisa, I'm in Yappy's living room right now. That's probably why he called you. All right. So what were you saying, Tim?
I done lost my train of thought again, Ed. I was reading DC's comment about setting records as far as the winter. Uh, I don't. I'll come back to it in a minute.
I sidetracked you. I'm sorry. I know I do the same thing. I end up screwing up, forgetting something too. I'm on a track. Oh, well, half it's out. I can't remember what the rest is.
Hey, if you watch our lives, people already know. You know he gonna derail at some point. I was telling Hannah the other day. DC may get a kick out of this, but I said I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere I can find. Just imagine this. Bear with me. A little model. What do you call people that build them models and stuff? But anyhow, of a train derailed off a track. You know, a little piece, 8-10 inches long, but old train engine derailed off the train track. I said I gotta find me one
Yeah. So whenever you forgot something, you just throw that little picture up real quick.
now. Yeah,
Derail. So what are your plans for spring so far? You still trying to gather up some nukes?
yeah. We was gonna take and go this weekend, but I didn't pay attention to how blasted cold it was gonna be. So the next few weekends it'll get warmed up enough to go over there at least get warm. Then yeah, the plan is kind of get maybe 3 or 4 newts, and that'll put us about 5 or 6. Then if we get back to a normal season, if you will, just split off that bunch and we should be able to reach our goal no problem being in a decent season. So I mean Hannah was talking the other day. I'm glad we fuss about all this cold weather and I'm not a big fan of it, don't get me wrong, but maybe it'll be winter during winter and not so much whenever it starts getting into spring and kill off everything again. So Lord willing, this whatever Nino is going on to get us into a good track.
Well, that's hope. That's a good possibility here, because the maple last year, maple had bloomed. My red maple bloomed about this time last year,
Hmm.
and now this year it's budded, and it's probably got another couple of weeks or so on. It looks like before it starts to start opening up. So hopefully the warm weather will start coming in. Uh, and I was making the 10 frame deep boxes because I plan on doing, like I said, doing some tearing off splits. I got three double deeps, and what I'm thinking about doing is doing early splits on those. Maybe doing it before they decide, to relieve overcrowding in those boxes, so that and they'll make their own in the splits, their own queens in the splits, and not in the main hive by relieving the overcrowding. And then I got 6 poly nukes, which I can split off into as I go. It's probably going to end up being, I'll probably end up selling some of those just to make, to keep from getting overrun.
Yeah, if we can, we're gonna make another run at. We picked up on Mike Berry last year on doing those little 2 frame splits, and like I say, if things go at least close to according, it shouldn't be no problem to get things split down and going plenty good enough. Because year before last, we was taking in, yeah, year before last, we had swarms coming in late November, so I wouldn't worry at all about pushing everybody into spring and beyond spring just to get the yard built up.
Huh. Yeah, yeah. I hated you lost a lot. DC lost a lot the year before. Um, he's at least had some bees going into winter this year so far. So I'm hoping he does better too. Because I think if he makes it through this, uh, that he'll have some that'll have some strength by the blackberries, like he's saying. He says his only flow is the blackberries. I'm sure they get other stuff, DC. They did pretty good last year for you, depending on what the farmers put in too. If
When them
anything
tops
yields any,
save him,
what was that?
them tops that he built over the
Oh
boxes, putting
yeah,
the roof, the wind block on them. I believe that's what really, really helped him out this year.
yeah. What kept the moisture down from going in through the tops and wind. And I'm thinking it acted more like a greenhouse effect on the top. He says it's 10 degrees warmer under there than the actual ambient temperature. So, you know, that probably helped a lot as far as moisture control and temperature as well.
Yeah, you good to go, DC.
Yeah. He's only got a couple more months to make it. So, yeah, I'm probably a you and I are probably like a brood frame and a half from being, uh, till it starts getting warm enough for him to start wanting to really brood up.
Well,
I mean,
the last two we got, that little nuke we bought, and Valentine, as we call her, uh, they doing very well. The still got, I don't know, a good frame and a half, as far as brood, 2 frames maybe on the nuke. And the last time we was in Valentine, she had about 3 or 4 good frames of brood in there, and that was, I don't know, 2.5, 3 weeks ago probably. We looked at them, but with Valentine, we went out last year on Valentine's Day and done a little piece out there, and that's when we found that one queen cell. We had 3 all year last year, but she was the earliest ones, and it was like, where it's the middle of February, it's still early season. If you don't make it, so be it. You know, we'll carry on whenever spring really gets here. And buddy, she's in. We got them stores in the 10 frame deep, and she's up top right now in the 10 frame deep, and she hasn't quit laying all season long.
yeah, I got 2
So
double deeps right now that have. Last time I checked, they had right around 6 frames brood. So they've been hitting it the whole time too. I'm surprised I haven't had any more issues out of them.
we're gonna get back out there about the same time and check them out. And if they'll go again, we'll carry on with it. But I'm gonna tell you, that one box you got on one of those last videos you did, buddy, you better stay on top of her, because that bunch is gonna go.
Well, that's one of the ones I'm going to use a Terranov split on real early to relieve the congestion and put some new frames in there, make them work, and lay some more up. Is what I'm looking at. And I'm probably going to have to split them 2 or 3 times this year, and I still may make honey off of them because they're so big. So that's what I'm hoping that they will do that without cutting them too deep. Because that's what I did last year. I cut them, but I didn't do heavy cuts. Went pulled out of them, made new hives, and I wasn't taking too much away from them. They were able to produce still. So that seemed to have worked last year. So we'll see if it does it again this year. I had 400 pounds off of 4 hives, a total 400 pounds of honey. So I'm sitting at 10 hives right now, and 3 of those are nukes.
You
So
done way better than us, bud. We got a grand total of 31 pounds.
yeah. But this year, if everything goes, if it goes like it did last year, I should make 1,000 pounds of honey. Hopefully, I say hopefully. It depends if it follows. The nectar flow follows or does better, that I don't cut them too deep so they don't go and not have the foraging force. Is the other factor.
11?
What was that, Tim?
Where you at now? At 11?
No, I lost the 11th one. Because it absconded, then I caught it. That's when I did the video on the night capture of the bees. They ended up croaking. They didn't make it. The first little cool session we had, they died on me. So, but that was from a hive that I split last season into a nucleus, and she never grew out of the nucleus. So she wasn't really performing. She was just dragging along. And I was trying to see if she would grow big enough to put her in another hive, but she never did. But she produced some honey with what she had on a nucleus. So, that's all she was able. She did is one. 6 frames of honey. Is all she did, and which wasn't really a whole lot in a nucleus hive. Yeah, DC said I'm gonna have a difficult time holding on this year because my boxes are looking full.
It ain't gonna be no problem for you to get on up to 25 or 30 if you want to push it on up in there.
I think my biggest problem is going to be equipment this year. I don't want to grow. I just want to be able to, if I can sell off nukes, that'll keep me floating with equipment for the bees. Because if I sell them in a poly nuke, I'll probably sell a nucleus hive for $200, and they keep the hive. So that way that they're not bringing junk back into my yard. It's going out and not coming back. So that's my thought. So if they have something going on in their yard, I don't want it back in mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you get to the point where you're going to have to get some boxes and it's going to be, I don't know, not just a couple boxes, but you got to get several in frames and all that. Man, it would probably be worth your drive to come over and talk to that fella right there in Hurley.
Yeah.
Man, he's got.
I can't remember how far that was. I can't remember how far a drive that was. I don't remember. It was 3 hours over to your place.
I think about that, and it's probably another, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes maybe from our house to where that fella's place is. It ain't a bad ride at all.
DC's saying something here. Singles for 300 and nukes for 200. Yeah, and most of the people I've seen for nuke prices, Tim, I've been looking around. I mean, just noticing, not really looking for it. They have been saying that they've been asking 195, and they're usually people who take the boxes back, or you put a deposit on a box, bring it back, get your deposit back. And 190 across the country has been like about 195 standard just for a nuke. So if I sell a poly nuke with it, that's $5 difference, in price. But I still get the money back for the frames and the bees. You know.
That feller, hold on to your billfold now. Last time we called and talked to one of them old boys about getting a new $130, and the ones we've gotten from him, that ain't been a problem one. We'd go back and get 10 more if we had the money.
Huh.
But I understand if you're trying to make money on that end kind of thing, but if you're looking to get you some more real quick or something like that, and you close by, that would be the dude to go talk to.
Well, them Pro Nukes are like $20 a piece. You know. Not to mention the value of the frames you're putting in there. You know.
Now them nuke boxes,
Um,
what do you call it? The politician sign stuff.
yeah. Well, the ones I'm talking about are the hard plastic with the Pro Nukes, which are, and that's what I've been, and they overwinter well in our area for the anyway. And there's Spanky. Hello, Spanky.
What do you say, Spanky? I just seen your message that pop up, man. DC, I think unassembled. This was last year now. Unassembled 10 frame deep for $11 unpainted, and I think $14 painted.
That's way cheaper than I can go an hour and a half south, and it's more. The guy wants like I think if I remember right, it was like $25, and that's unpainted. You know.
Yeah, we had talked
So
about it several times last year. We had, I don't know, conversated back and forth about getting on a pallet, going in halves on that. But by the time got done figuring the math of the shipping on everything, then just to say is if he bought a pallet alone by itself, the shipping was I think it was about $500 or $600 if I remember right, getting that mess up there to him.
the shipping costs about $500.
Yeah, it would have cost him more to do that than it would just to buy it from, I guess, a name brand company or so.
And shipping kills a lot of people. You know, for me to drive down it's probably cost about a tank of gas. You know, which is not a whole lot, but a 15-gallon tank. So you figure $3 a gallon, $150, right? Get there and back maybe. So that's cheaper than shipping.
Oh yeah, there was. I don't know. We was gonna get some of those nuke boxes from him going in the spring, and when we had went over there, it's when you pull up to the place, you wouldn't think, where in the world is all the beekeeping stuff and all that? Because it's just at an old country home, pretty much. But they got them a shop and everything out back. And whenever we went into that shop, that feller he was telling them other boys to do something, and we happened to turn and look in the back part of the shed back there, and I guarantee you he had 2,000 frames stacked up. They were assembled. That's all they did all day long was assemble frames. Put the foundation in, assemble them, stack them. They had rows and rows of them things out there. Then he probably had a couple hundred of just empty 5-frame nuke boxes. So we told him, said, man, look, we'll be back, I don't know, a week or two. Let's get a little more change and we're going to buy some of them empty boxes. No problem. Well, we go back. He done sold out of everything. On the nuke boxes, sold every single one of them. Sold, I couldn't tell you how many frames and actual hive bodies he said a fella come down with a big old 16, 18-foot trailer and said, I'll buy pretty much whatever I can see. Loaded him up and headed back to Mississippi.
Shoot, I mean, you can find deals that's cheaper than, but still, then you got to look at the quality of it too. How long is it going to last? So that's the other factor on all this too. How long is what you're buying going to last? How long can you make it last? I think the other thing, I bought a Vevor box. I wasn't happy with it because it wasn't really good quality, but it's holding up right now. And I bought a B Castle 2 years ago, and it's still holding up. I mean, it's doing pretty good. They've actually got that thing worn in really well. Broken in, propolized, and everything else. So they've been busy with all that box for 2 years. Those are both wax dip. And I bought the very first box I bought was I forgot where it is. The Honey Lane, and that was just it's god awful. I mean, it's starting to separate and fall apart now. It started doing it on the first year. The top started peeling out, which way they put it together. But they're still using it. Don't know much longer it's going to last, but it's doing all right now. Yeah, DC says he doesn't buy Vevor. Well, other people were doing the reviews on those Vevors, and I just wanted to see what quality it was. When I got it, it was junk coming out the box. Then it didn't have, like all the other ones, didn't have the Lexane for the viewer on the side of the box. So you have that issue. Now the B Castle, I guess the Bug Farmer did one, and it's like $150, but it comes with a super. It's a super and a deep, and it's got the just like the Vevor did with the windows observation windows, but they come with the Lexane. So the bottom board, the lid, top cover, frames, and a deep and a super. $150. That's what I paid for the Harvest Lane one that I got, and it was just the deep and the bottom board and the top cover and the telescoping lid. So for the same price, you get a whole nother box. So I mean that's
boxes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What's that? What was that about the Vevor boxes?
Where the little observation portion is there a recess for that glass to set in, or do you have to redneck engineer to make it?
On the Vevor, you'd have to redneck engineer. I didn't catch that on when the Bug Farmer did his. I don't think he showed that. He showed that they had the plastic in them already, or they had the inserts for it, but I couldn't make it out whether they were recessed or how they were set up.
It seems like everybody, I've seen, a couple folks do them, put it together videos for different companies and doing that Vevor. But it seems like everybody says none of them comes with that glass or that Lexan to where you can actually view on the inside.
Yeah, because I think Mr. Ed was the first one I saw with it, and then the Bug Farmer was the second one I saw. They had gave him for to do the video on it. Sent it to him. So yeah, and I appreciate some of those videos that show the kits and how well they really are. But
Hmm.
granted, I think B Castle and Vivor are only the warm dip wax because the wax does wear off in some spots on it. So I don't think it's a hot dip where they boil the water out of the wood and everything. So tell you the truth, I don't know how long they're going to last, but right now they seem to be holding up to the weather here and the moisture we have here in this environment.
Well, as long as that thing is a solid board and it ain't a couple pieces of one by that's been glued together, you're gonna get a little bit more life out of it. But if you get into some of them boxes to where they pretty much just thrown some scrap lumber together, glued it up to make a 1x12 or 1x10, now that stuff's gonna bow and warp and crack on you way more than a piece of lumber that's got a heavy crown or heavy cup in it.
The as far as I can tell, with the B Castle and the Vivor, that is what they are. It's like one buys that are glued together. Now I'm gonna see how long that part of it lasts. I'm not sure. You um, they seem to be doing good now, and being that they're using dovetails on all, most of it, they may hold pretty good. There's no way for it to pull apart when it's dovetailed like it would be if you had just the finger joints. You know, because you don't have that play in it. It locks in tight and holds it in place.
Yeah, and usually a ring shank nail or ring shank staple glue them babies up good.
But I don't see how where the glue is going to work on the wax dip because they're not wax dip as a whole unit. They're wax dip as individual pieces. And sometimes you have to scrape a little bit of wax out of it to make sure it goes together better because it's too tight. So uh, putting glue on that, I don't see where that's going to work when you got wax in between it. But
Yeah.
you know they give you the B Castle was pre drilled for the brass. They sent you with the brass screws for it. All the hardware, put it together. Uh, for all it actually they give you nails for the frames. I just bypassed all the nails and used my staple gunning. Those you can glue because it's just the raw wood.
Mm.
So you use a tight bond and some crown staples. I mean, like 1 to 1.5 inch staples works fine for putting those together.
Now I tell you, if you like to, this is just something a cheaper way to do. Instead of if you're looking for a way for them boxes to last a good while and still take a bit of a beating, I ain't saying you can show enough tear into it, but uh, man, we coat all of our every box, everything we got out there is coated in marine varnish. And whenever you load that baby up with that marine varnish, that rascal seals. And it, I mean, I say for our boxes, they don't look brand spanking new. Don't get me wrong, everything's 5 years old out there, but I'd say everything's in pretty good shape. Far as no rotten spots, no water damage. Uh, the corners hold up fairly well. We don't have any busted places where we stick the hide tools and all that, but it's just a little bit
It,
cheaper way to go if you look for something good that'll help you out.
isn't that marine varnish? Isn't it like a polyurethane finish?
Yeah, but the marine varnish won't yellow like a urethane will. So you'll constantly keep that either satin look or high gloss, whatever you want to put on them. We just put a satin on ours, and like I say, it looks like we run a clear coat over it 6 months ago.
Yeah, they look pretty good when I went out. I was out there when I went to see you that time. You know, and you said they're 5 years old, so they look a lot better than some of the boxes I have had for a couple years. DC says marine anything as coating goes will outlast a lot of stuff.
Now it was about $65 a gallon for it, but a little bit goes a long way. I mean, you can lay it in there good and heavy. All we do is we do the outsides, we do every little joint, and I'll roll the tops and the bottom of the inside, probably about the width of a mini roller, or half of that. That way, in case any water tries to leach down on the inside. But we don't paint all the inside. We let the bees fill in the corners and all that stuff, but it holds up pretty good.
Yeah, they were saying someone else. I was saying a couple of videos they were talking about like that Flex Seal, using it in the corners when you put on the outside of the box before you paint it and everything. Will lock out. Will seal up the end of the wood, like on the finger joints and stuff, so it doesn't soak water in. I mean, a lot of the stuff that some of the people were saying makes sense, but after a while, expansion and contraction, you'd think that Flex Seal would start to pull away eventually.
Now, if you're gonna try varnish or that marine varnish, plan it to where you got. I'd give it at least 2 or 3 days before you threw that box onto a colony. Let that box air a little bit, but after that, get after it. But
And so someone in here was mentioning something about the eco wood stuff. I've heard mixed comments on that as well for treating your wood. I think Bob was saying something about he used eco wood. Some of them boxes have already started falling apart that he used to seal it with, and some didn't. And other people have had good response out of the eco wood. So a lot of what I do too is on the new equipment. I'll scorch everything and then seal it. On the outside, I'll scorch everything down, and then that's why my boxes have a lot of that dark look to them. I'll scorch them, sanitize it, and then let the bees do their thing with it. And it's helped on the frames. They don't build as much propolis on the frames themselves, but there are some times that they have some of them that I didn't. You had to darn near take a doggone chisel and hammer to get the frame out of there. It's like crap. But I need to find a way to collect that propolis, because that's another income revenue stream that I could possibly, get by doing tinctures and throat sprays and stuff like that off of. I know a lot of musicians and singers, so that would work probably for them. Yeah, I've also had good response out of buying equipment that's been copper naphthate dipped. Yeah, that's darker. That's darker than the last time I saw it. It's sort of a light yellow the last time.
More along the lines of that in there.
That's about what it looked like last time. Yeah.
They coming along. I guess they'll be ready about a week or two. I guess. Not sure how long it takes to fully do what it does, but that's our first run. Let's see.
So has Hannah been using that?
Not yet. She's anxious to start trying it to see if it helps out with that inflammation and stuff. But I think what is it, about 2 to 5 weeks or something like that on that stuff. I can't remember exactly what it was. Her and Sarah's been, them two have been back and forth on that telephone.
Yeah, Sarah does a lot of stuff in their apothecary that I was hoping I could find something that I suffer pain all the time. Degenerative bone, spinal disease. I'm always hurting, and I'd not been taking anything as far as narcotic for it, and I've been trying to find something to knock that pain down. I mean, functionality. I still function, but I probably would function better if I wasn't hurting so much. So I need to find something natural that doesn't have the long-term side effects. Because I was on Percocet for a long time, and even though I was taking it the way it was supposed to be taken, the withdrawals when I let myself go and withdraw off, it was like it was terrible. Felt like bugs were crawling all over me and stuff. Yeah, Spanky says James Noel makes a good propolis tincture.
Check out what he got. But that's about, I don't know, 3/4 of it's pretty well dissolved. That propolis into I don't know what you want to call it, a goo, I guess the best way to explain what it looks like.
Yeah, I think Spanky and his mom do some stuff like that too. I think, if I remember right, I hadn't seen much of Spanky stuff in a while. Spanky said some of the boxes he bought. Talking about that, Spanky, you ought to come on and let us know how the bees are doing if you in your yard. I ain't heard nothing about your bees or anything for a long time. But what are the other kind of? Well, he's been a mad scientist too. He makes doggone printings, the 3D printings and stuff that I found interesting. Some of the stuff. One of his hives he had looked like a little pill box, or based on a bee box from overseas.
James says he swears by it. So
a good tincture, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're commenting on boxes being painted on the inside, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to flip back and forth, but you know how it is on the cell phone. The comment screen covers the.
Yeah. Well, I'm using a laptop, and I got both of them open. So. Although mine's not feeding comments on my YouTube side, so I have my phone open too. But Spanky says the last he seen of his bees, they were flying. But it's been so cold that I've not seen them. I've not seen them out. He's in 19 degrees weather where he's at. DC's like, I was jamming about EcoWood.
Oh, you good, DC?
Yeah. But
I don't know. Our girls wasn't flying either. We got, I don't know, about 42 for the high today, but they was like us. No, ain't no way I'm getting out in this mess.
Yeah. Yeah, mine have been doing that, Lisa. When it gets a little warm, I've seen them out. But last 2 days, I haven't seen them out at all. I go over and tap on the box for a minute, and then there's a couple little heads will pop out and look at me. Say, "Are you crazy?"
Oh, train back on the track. Look, we was talking about the VVOR boxes a minute ago and how they don't have the Lexan for the observation.
Yeah.
That could be a good thing in a way. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody do this, so let me put that out there first. But we'll just say hypothetically, you had an enemy of sorts, and they just stopped by the house one day. Well, you could say, "Man, walk down here and let's check out my observation hive." But oh, by the way, you just pull that little door off there and put your face right in there and have a good look. Just saying. Hannah come in and goes, "Tina,
well, you could butt those boxes. You can butt those boxes together and make a bigger hive out of what you've got. The second box is all closed off, so all they do is just go in there and do what they're going to do in that box, and they just come out one box.
Hey, travel back and forth. There you go.
Yeah.
Migratory boxes.
Yeah. So, oh man, it's been an interesting evening. Hey, Bob joined in. Why don't you click on that link, Bob? Join us, man. Throw us an overdrive.
What about Bob?
He is checked in. He's on the screen.
I was just talking about the old Bill Murray movie. Or what about Bob? Hannah hates that movie. That movie drove her blood pressure up so bad watching that.
Well, you all fat and happy, Bob, from supper. Come on, join in. Yeah, you want to fall over in the corner and sleep, or you want to chat some of that meal off.
We're the hired help. Can't hang out with the hired help.
We're the hired help.
Yeah, I got the boss here now, so we better be on the best behavior.
Hey, Hannah.
Late.
Well, I'm surprised Jasper ain't trying to jump up on his lap, but if Bob comes on, he may show up.
Oh, he'll be here in a minute. Yeah,
he'll hear Bob's voice.
He's
not used to hearing mine, so.
Yeah, he just woke up. He's been sleeping all afternoon.
There he is. There he is. Let's add Bob. I see him waving.
We got him, boys.
I got him.
Yeah, me and the wife went and looked at some mobile type homes and went to dinner.
Modular homes nowadays.
Oh, well, just to show you what we're looking at here. If you haven't looked,
it's $200,000. Oh, you looked at a little bit bigger one.
What is that?
$330,000.
$218,000. $270,000.
Are those the one with the 2x8s in the walls?
Did it come with land? Does that come with land? Oh no, you got to have the land.
Yeah, some of those are built. Those are built hurricane safe. They got the 2x6s in the walls, and I think 2x8s in the floor joist.
I don't care if it comes with the Wicked Witch of the West. There ain't no way in Hades I'm paying $270,000 for a mobile home. Sorry.
It's supposed to withstand a 200-mile-an-hour wind.
At least it's a mobile mansion.
I know. And then, well, they said they are modular homes, right? So the basic difference is they take the wheels off and put them on piers.
Right? Means they charge you a buttload of money to tack a long word onto the title of that home.
And then we went a little bit further down the road and saw some mobile type homes and 120,000 plus 20,000 to set up. So 140 for that one.
Set up.
Are they double or single wide?
Double.
Still, that's
And- And this one is 185,000 set up. So, yeah, they are quite spendy.
Now they make a log cabin version of that though too.
Yeah.
I seen somebody in the mountains had one put in. It was a modular log cabin, and they had the inspector come out and look at it. Could not tell, because they set it on top of a basement. Could not tell that it was actually a mobile vehicle, a mobile home, or log cabin. He thought it was an actual kit that was
Well,
built.
and they said those will be bricked in too, bricked under. So it's more, I guess instead of like vinyl or metal underpinning, they would be bricks, but still.
$200,000. I'd hope it's marble up underneath that thing.
Yeah, I know. And we were walking through, and my wife was like, well, I would change this and change that. And, we could replace this. I'm like, if I'm spending $200,000, it better come how I want it.
Yep.
Or I'm calling Tim and Hannah to come put me a deck on or something.
That's what I was going to say. You may have to break out your tools and go to building again.
Man, I'm going to do something at those prices.
Mm.
So, but we did find one we liked, and they said, well, with the VA, you can get this for no money down. Yeah, you can. But they kill you every month.
It's not sitting in your yard.
It would kill you every month. And then, by the way, that doesn't include well and septic tank. So you got to get that extra. That's another $20,000 or so.
Or your power pole.
$3,000 to do
Power pole.
Yeah.
So the interest rates are starting about 6.9% right now on a 30-year fixed.
Oh.
That's brutal. So you're looking at, I don't know, I did a quick calculator at 165,000. It's about $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So that's still.
He heard it. I'm telling you.
I told you.
He hears Bob's voice and he.
I'm gonna have to hire Jasper out as like a working dog so he can help pay that.
He can pull wagons of lumber.
StreamYard bill.
Yeah, pay something, man. Whoa, Lord, that's a lot of money. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm like, well, if I can get $165,000 for a mobile home on land, I could probably just finance a house on land and not go the mobile route, So
Seriously.
we'll see. And then we stopped by the Quaker Steak and Lube on the way home. If you've never been to a Quaker Steak and Lube, it's pretty nice. Ours has gone downhill, but it was nice when it first opened up, and the service kind of fell off, but it was good. Just had a good day riding around, looking at it. And then of course she's like, it's cold. We shouldn't have come out today. I'm like, you wanted to go. I was sitting at the computer. So I was good.
Blame shifter.
Yep. That's it.
Those prices. Yeah, let's go on. Let's just go.
But you know what? They've got this thing now, and I had never heard of it till today. But the water heater and the heat pump are hooked together. So the heat pump is actually heating the water in your water heater. Because, when you're running your AC, it's pulling the hot air out or whatever. So I don't know if it's acting like a radiator, so to speak, and running it through there. But some kind of efficient thing. So I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of problems down the road.
Well, that's what every time I hear that, right? That's what I think. I said, "Oh, that's pretty neat." But when it breaks, you can't just get any kind of water heater. You got to get that kind of water heater, right? So, Jasper, just one of the family. Look at Jasper, just pops up in his seat, ready for the live stream.
See everybody.
Jasper thinks he's a person.
Yeah, he thinks he's a.
He's as tall as Hannah is.
He's getting there.
Sitting down.
It just looks like people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got to show off. My dog showed her head, and that was it.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
couldn't do nothing with the bees today. 35 degrees. So we just there's Jasper looking at us. The I've got work I could be doing, but I just blew it off today, putting boxes together and frames.
Yeah, I built a couple from scratch myself today. Got cold, come in, warm up, went back out, finished one up.
Are you on the eastern side or the western side of Alabama?
I'm on the eastern side. No, western side. No, what's here? Son,
Jim's on the west side.
I'm on the east side. Sorry, southeast.
The
Grammy gonna kill me.
I don't know why my wife knows I'm live, but you hear her in there calling me Bob. Hey, Bob. Bob.
Tell Amy we said hey.
Yeah.
Here, come get the paper, and you can see all the numbers on the homes. Never mind, I found it. There you go.
Yeah.
Be nice, Bob.
30 extra seconds. She could have thought about it and not even had to bug me. She's gonna.
What you do is put the on-air sign outside your bedroom, outside the door of that
Yeah, now live.
room.
That's what we need to find him.
On air.
On air, yeah, the on air sign like in the radio studio. So, yeah,
I know I got a face for radio.
Lord knows I got one. I do clean up when I shave and everything, okay, but still not beyond that.
I got a face.
Jasper's got a face for television.
Yes, he does.
I swear, if they make a new Little Rascals, you need to take Jasper. They'll paint the little black circle on his eye. He'll look just like Petey.
Yeah, he
He
will.
will.
Jasper.
Petey, yeah.
He can act that goofy too.
You gonna acknowledge folks?
You're not gonna say nothing.
Jasper.
His little eyebrows are just going up.
Just.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
y'all
he just
right.
wants to be on camera. Is that?
He looks like, you remember those cuckoo clocks back in the day that had the owl, and when it went back and forth, their eyes went back and forth. As Jasper looks like.
We'll make fun of you, huh?
Poor fellow.
He looks so neglected.
Yeah, don't even.
Mr.
Try
Dunny
to
came
like mignon or something over there.
Oh my God. Three Oaks said, Bob, that the on air sign would stay on so much the electric bill would double.
This electric bill is already bad over here. I could imagine.
See where you can find them, baby. You find them pretty cheap little.
So my daughter started doing candles. So she made some little candles. This one is cherry blossom.
Hold it closer so I can smell it.
Smell it, smell-o-vision. But this is a soy candle, not a beeswax candle. But it's smells good. For cherry blossom, smells like roses to me, but if it has a floral smell, that's what it smells like.
What's she trying to
I
say?
heard someone's.
Yeah, she might. We might put some on the website when she gets some more done. But
Someone was saying that if you took beeswax and you mixed it with, I don't know if it was the soy
yeah, I think
compound.
it keeps it from constricting. You know, when beeswax dries, it shrinks up pretty good. And you don't want that in a candle because otherwise it'd just be rattling around inside of there. So you can
Also, it burns longer supposedly too because it doesn't consume the beeswax as fast.
So it's not too bad.
There's some
Just
more
happy
info.
someone showing some interest in doing something with possibly with the bees.
Oh, she's showing interest.
Well, I mean, she got all the stuff to start making candles. So now I just got to make some beeswax.
Yeah.
Filter some beeswax out for you.
I've got a whole crock pot full of beeswax. So get her involved, especially when I started showing her how much more you can make selling beeswax candles than you can making soy candles.
Mm-hmm.
I got about 2 pounds last year off the honey I extracted.
My whole
So
turkey roaster / crock pot, the oval one, that thing's full all the way to the top with wax.
oh, you got one of the big roaster pans. That's right.
It's a solid block of wax right now, the whole thing. But,
There's her test product.
what's that?
There's her test product to work out the bugs on the shrinking or anything like that you're dealing with.
But I mean, she had a little temperature thermometer, making sure she was at the right temperature, and everything was good. Yeah, so, I thought something. I was looking on, I think it was Better Bee. I don't know. They had this metal tapered candle mold, right? That you can do 8 candles at a time. And I was sitting there thinking for a few minutes, I'm like, why in the world why is it an 8? I figured maybe 6 or something like that, but it was 8. Then I started thinking, duh, Hanukkah. They use 8 candles, right? For a menorah, doesn't it have 8 candles in it for Hanukkah? I'm not Jewish, I don't know, but I think don't they say it's like the 8 days of, isn't that what Adam Sandler said? Like the 8 crazy nights? Wasn't that like this Hanukkah little Christmas cut? Well, I guess it's a Hanukkah cartoon and not a Christmas cartoon, right? Movie, but holiday movie. But yeah, it's a 8 thing. And then I was halfway thinking to order one for the candles, and then it said these had gotten in the weather and have a little bit of rust on them. I was like, nope, because that rust will go straight into that wax, and it'll never make a clean looking candle. So didn't get it. Not that I need to spend any more money on anything. Y'all saw that the other day, right? My receipts when I went to go do my taxes. So those in the clip, those are receipts from Amazon and beekeeping supply companies. That's how many I had to print out for my taxes and add them up. So, quite a bit. And then once you total them, you're like, really? I spent that much money? Yeah, it was a lot. So, and that didn't even include stuff like the nukes that I bought to resell, right? That was $4,000. And you start looking at, I was at the show down in Mississippi, all that stuff I didn't get no receipts for. That was another $1,000, right? So it's like you start thinking about the stuff when so I just saw Tracy's post on there. So the guy sold the slushy machine before I could buy it. And I was in the middle of having a chat with him when all of a sudden it said, so-and-so updated it to sold. I'm like, well, you could have just told me you sold it instead of keep chatting with me about it. So I got to find another one.
Yeah, I think I saw that same one because the picture you showed online was when I went look on Marketplace. Showed the same picture. Then when you said it was sold, I went back to look at it. That same picture was gone.
So $125 a piece, and he had 2 of them. I said, I'll buy them both. I didn't. That was how I let in. I'll buy them both. And where can I go get them? Oh, they'll be on Fairfield Road tomorrow. Great. What time can I get them? So-and-so updated it as sold. I was like, you son of a gun. Didn't even give me the opportunity.
Are there any auction houses or anything that does online with that type stuff?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I just searched a slushy machine for sale on Marketplace, and it just happened to be right here in my town. I was like, I'll get it. But now all the ones I see are like $550, $650, something like that. So I got to find a cheap one.
So I'm seeing some for $4 and $5 grand on there.
Yeah, I don't need all that for a test. I figured $125 if it don't work, I can make margaritas. I mean, or something.
Yeah.
You know, something would work.
So shoot. Yeah, I'm just trying to get myself set up so I can start doing some spitting down my big boxes, Bob. Get them
I haven't looked in mine. Haven't looked in mine in a few weeks because it got cold. I don't even know if I got any big boxes anymore. They might all be frozen now. I did when it was warm out yesterday. I put pollen sub and liquid feed out, but nobody came to get any of it. So I don't know what they got going on.
Well, mine ain't come out for 2 days. I told them I walked by one of the boxes and I knocked on it, and I just had a couple peek their head out, and like they threw the finger at me. I'm not coming out. You crazy?
Yeah, it's 32 degrees here right now, and it's been that way
a
all
few
day.
degrees cooler.
It was a little bit warmer earlier.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 36 right now. What y'all sitting at, Tim?
It's cold. Hang on.
She's sitting on cold.
I know that for a fact.
Shoot, my wife, it'd be 95 degrees. My wife would crawl up underneath the doggone electric blanket.
I think
Saying
Tim
she's
might be
cold.
the only Yankee in the group. Look, he's got a T-shirt on. Hannah's got a jacket or a hoodie on. Ed's got a hoodie on. I got a flannel button up.
Long John.
Oh, he's got long johns underneath it. Okay, so we'll give you a break. You're back southern again. Freezing.
It says 35 right now.
Jasper, you got a coat on too?
He should have got my winter one.
Got his winter
Man.
coat on.
DC talking about he's checking some low-speed paint mixers today after mentioning something about do-it-yourself creamer and mixer. So that's going to be a hell of a load of cream honey.
I saw something today. I was talking about the other day on the stream, but let me see if I can present this. You'll have to add it when I get it showing here. There you go. Add that up, Ed.
All right.
Oh, of course it stopped. Hold on.
95.
Just watch it again. It's a powder mixer.
You think you're funny.
So you could probably mix your own pollen sub if you knew all the stuff that was in it.
Under the tumbler.
Yeah, it just tumbles everything and mixes it together as it flips over and over again.
Huh.
We probably have to get the hand crank.
You shouldn't buy anything before you get a dishwasher, is all I'm saying.
Don't get that, Leah.
Don't you know Tim is the dishwasher?
Yeah.
Tim's the dishwasher.
I just did that to see what Hannah would do.
That mixer, the powder mixer, was $1,500, DC.
Ooh. That's outrageous too.
Well, you could probably put sugar and water in there and just spin that around and mix your sugar up, or make all your sweet tea for the year in one time.
What's the way to do that? Oh, DC said that's it. I expected it to be more.
Was all stainless?
Yeah, it was all stainless too. That'd be something for like for Ian if he was mixing his own pollen patties or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that does a big batch.
Mixing the dry ingredients in that first.
Mm-hmm. Then start adding your I guess he's got a mixer though that mixes stuff, right? I don't know if it's a cement mixer or what he uses.
Man, as you go out, you just imagine sitting outside, trying to make your creamed honey in a cement mixer. I mean, it doesn't spin that fast.
Let's idle it on down to where you just get that slow little turn there.
When you think about the volume you have to have in that thing, though.
Oh, you're gonna move some product with the wheelbarrow, boys.
Seriously.
Oh, man.
You dump it right into the 5-gallon buckets. You know,
I've got some in the mixer in there right now. I need to add flavoring to, and I've got some in a 5-gallon pail. So really need to figure out what I'm doing with all that.
I found that after you flavor it up, if you use a dry product in there, and let it sit for about a week, that flavor really comes out after it's been sitting for a week.
Yep.
But I've sold everything I've got now. I think I might have a quart jar of peanut butter flavor right now. I'm thinking about using that myself to make sandwiches with.
Got a lot of pretty good amount of honey left in my warmer outside, and then I've got some creamed honey too. So I'm not in jeopardy of running out. I'm starting to run out of like quarts. I got some pints and 1-pounders, and then I got the cream stuff and the hot stuff there.
Quarter two. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, DC went to go look at that same video that we pulled up. It says the guy was talking about a warming and drying cabinet, but it shows the mixer and to keep the honey active. I don't know what that process would even be.
Let's see.
But that doggone, I'll tell you what, that creamed honey this year doubled what I would have made on my honey. And
yeah, it's once you get the hardest part for me is getting people to know what it is, right? The learning curve that you got to put them through, and then they end up buying regular honey. So then it gets to, I'm hoping it doesn't get to a point to where all I have is creamed honey left, and then, you know, I'm waiting for a harvest.
yeah, I had a lot of people ask once I got down there when I had nothing but creamed left. They kept asking for regular honey. I'm like, I said, right now I'm out of the regular honey. And so that's all I've got is the cream.
Tell them all you got to do is take this home, take the lid off,
heat
and
it up.
put it in the microwave, and then it's regular honey. Might have flavor in it. If you
And flavoring, yeah. Well, that's what I tell them. I said, whipped honey is the same thing. It's just one was crystallized when I started with it. All you got to do is heat it up, and it'll be back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Except mine is, added the flavor, like you said.
Oh, man. I done 8, and now I'm wrecked.
I figured that you would be.
She said before hanging with all us, they hadn't heard of creamed honey. Now they love the stuff. So I'm not, believe it or not, I don't eat that much honey here. So it's, and I've gotten a ton of it from people. So I've got all kinds of different honey from all over. Philip said, "Hey, Ed, forget all the rest of us. That's okay. Ed's
You
here
Philip.
alone."
Ain't nothing going on there, man. Nothing to see. Nothing to see.
Ain't that nothing.
So, oh man, I figured I'd try to do an early, or well, I guess early. I say early Saturday show like this.
One. If I go
Right
live
now,
on
I'm sitting.
Saturday, it's usually late.
Well, I figure, I'm trying to build up watch hours, and I'm at 582 right now as far as viewers go. And it seemed like last week I did some videos, or 2 weeks ago I did some videos.
You just need to bring
And
Charlie on. He's famous now, so he'll boost your viewers up.
Well, it's after I did I did 4 videos in one day, and those videos have actually, I wouldn't say viral. They're not viral. They've gotten more video hits than everything else I've done. So I must have did something right. So I figured, well, let's try to do some more like with the lives and see where it goes. Get more people watching, more viewer time.
What are your watch hours now?
I'm probably around, I think 1,000 watch hours. I think right at the moment, right before I started this.
I'm curious, what are mine? What do you think my watch hours are?
32,704.
Well, now,
my channel had 70,000 watch hours as of. That was as of the 24th of November of last year. 70,000 watch hours.
Wow.
650,000 views.
When you guys go and share it out, does that boost your watch hours, and because somebody else's?
You mean if it's like if I were to stream this on my channel while you're streaming it on your channel? If they're watching it on my channel, maybe not right when it's happening, but like Brad shared one out the other night we did, and he has almost as many views of the video, but it was later afterwards when he started picking those watch hours up.
So that's sort of a way to shuffle through the system a little bit.
Yeah, so if we were all sharing this to our channels, if somebody's watching on Tim and Hannah's channel, well, then they're getting watch hours from watching it, right? If you're watching it from my channel, I'd be getting watch hours. And, it just depends where they watch it at, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You just didn't.
DC's talking about I'm using him.
So you're just.
It's a two-way street.
Back in.
Well, I mean, we'd really use him if he'd come on live and talk, see what kind of stuff he'd come up with. He's crazy in the regular stream, so I wonder what it'd be like in person.
DC?
Yeah, in the moment. Yeah, I've seen his videos.
Maybe one day he'll surprise on somebody's live. I know he said he ain't gonna get no smartphone or something like that, but maybe it'll work off a laptop
or an iPad or something.
Knowing DC's probably using a doggone one of them old Dell laptops that's just using an older version of Windows. He's probably gonna gig me here in a minute. Yeah, it's about the bees, DC. We're still picking on you.
Old Todd put out a video 26 minutes ago.
I missed that one.
Of course, he has the warmest weather of the day, probably.
Oh, yeah. But Phil had to answer back to your question. He says he's high Ed and others.
Hey, Philip.
This is built to his own game.
Decent.
That's impressive.
I wouldn't know where to start, and that ain't exaggerating the truth in any kind of way.
You know, it's not many streams that I go into where I'm just the guest and I don't have like admin on the StreamYard. So, like, I was just going to mute my mic, but I don't have the thing. I can stop it, but I don't know. It doesn't have the little microphone where you can just press it and mute it. At the bottom is that just mutes you guys, I think. I don't think it mutes me.
No, mute you.
You're muted.
Yeah. Man, DC, I don't know how you find time to play video games. Well, I work a full-time job, then I play with the bees or do stuff at the house here. I don't see how you have time to play video games.
He's retired though, remember?
Yeah.
Uh,
There- My dog trying to stick her face in the picture. Oh. Give her 5 seconds like Jasper.
yeah.
That was little she dog or he dog?
Little girl.
That's pretty.
She's a monster, though. She was little when we got her, and she's about 65 pounds now. 65-pound a dog. She wasn't. She's what do they call it? Australian, not shepherd, but bird dog.
Oh.
And she's got some hound in her too. She got some blue tick hound in her too. She's got the blue tick markings on the inside of her thighs.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's a smart dog. That line.
Yeah, she figured out how to break out in my backyard recently.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
So
She was
she's
in
been
there.
a handful.
Amy's in there looking on YouTube to see tours of the houses we went in today that we toured by ourselves. She's already seen them. And now she's in there watching them on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's refreshing her memories, all.
Well, she can not refresh her memory on that one because that was a $200,000 house she was looking at.
That was
I can't.
They always like to go for the bigger dollar.
Well, hey, it was the nicest house there, but yeah, not for $200,000. Can't happen.
Heck yeah, that's a lot. Used to think, shoot, 25. Well, I mean, thank the Lord we've been blessed on that end. But I think 25, 30 years ago, I remember my mom and daddy trying to sell their house, which is a little old house, it's 1,200 square foot brick house, 3/4 acre lot. And whenever I was a youngin', they tried selling that thing one time to get closer to the Mobile. Well, thankfully it didn't work. But I remember being a kid and hearing that real estate agent telling my mom and them, I think you can get $35,000 for this, no problem. And I'm thinking 30, that was
A lot of money.
yeah.
Yeah.
How is somebody gonna pay $200,000 mortgage on a $45,000 income?
So it's $200,000 for the house. You got to have land to put it on, right? So that's another 20 grand. So now you're at 220. Then you got to add well and septic and setup and delivery. So that's another 40 grand. Someone's eating the squeaky toy, right?
Yeah, my dog.
Oh,
There, when he heard it,
Jasper perked up when he heard the squeaky toy.
he's trying to figure out what that noise is.
Jasper heard it. Oh, that's funny. Her squeaky toy.
Now he's back asleep. He's over it.
Yeah, we call it her baby.
If prices keep going like this, I might be down there. I might be moving to Alabama. Down there near y'all.
I don't know. Look, like DC said, it could be a lot worse. He was saying if you want to make your head pop, look at the prices in the Northwest. But
Oh, I'm sure.
a couple of my cousins live out in Colorado, and they were telling me because one of them lives here. It's two sisters. One lives here, and one lives in Colorado. Well, the one here has been looking for a place to buy. Her and her family and 2 kids. And the sister that lives in Colorado, she was basically ranting like you are about the prices of houses now. Well, the one that lives in Colorado was like, yeah, this ain't nothing. She said there was a 3/4 acre lot with a completely dilapidated house. Like she said, the house had been condemned. It had to be bulldozed down, cleared off, and started over. And they wanted $350,000 for it. She was like, if you want something that's move-in ready and livable, you're looking at like $500,000 for like a 3 or 4 bedroom house.
Back in the day, you used to be able to go to the mobile home lot and say, oh, I really like this house. And if you were approved, they'd bring it out next week if you had land and everything. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, yeah, it's 3 months to build it and get it out there. Yeah, so it's like 3 months from now. No telling what happens.
We can just hook 2 out here, you know?
Right. Just hook it. I'll take half out there now and come back and get the other half.
Yeah, I'm living. I got half an acre of land and double wide here. I ended up paying $45,000 for it. I lucked up.
Well, we've got an issue with the finance, and not from our credit standpoint, but the fact that Amy hadn't worked in 5 years taking care of my mom. She hadn't had no income, so they can only base it on my income. And they can only base it on what I make at the pest control company because they won't do what I made online with the business and everything because it hadn't been 2 years. So that kind of throws things off. The only thing I can hope for is the bank says, oh, your credit's so good, don't worry about it. We don't need any proof. Just sign right here. That's what they do with my truck. So, I mean, you know. It's hard to say.
Well, we'll be praying y'all can get y'all find your house or something that's move in ready. You ain't got to worry about a bunch of jive. And good place to set the bees up.
That's Bob's #1 priority.
Oh yeah. Amy's like, I don't want to live in no subdivision. I'm like, okay, well, me neither. So there you go.
You got no place for bees in the subdivision.
And most people might look at me sideways when I start, what are you setting out over there? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's in all them boxes over there. Just come.
It's environmental control equipment.
Especially having to deal with all these blasted HOAs and stuff nowadays, what you can and can't do on your property. But you paying for anyway.
You need to get off of that
I know
before
it.
you get in trouble on YouTube.
We're gonna get Ed demonetized.
Demonetized? I ain't got monetized yet. I'm trying to get there.
We ain't got there yet, but they go ahead and kick us on out.
Oh, never mind. I found one, and it was like a single wide version of the double wide we were looking at, and it said 80,000. I was like, well, that's a lot cheaper, right? And then you go scrolling down, and it says, after you get down of all the stuff it has, it says mobile home breakdown and move is at buyer's expense. Oh, in other words, it don't come with no land. So I might as well get the other one and let them do all that. That's part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll find something eventually. And then we'll have to have a big party for moving beehives. Everybody bring your trailer at midnight. Why at midnight? We're going to have a party. They'll be like,
All
are
night
you
barbecue.
witchcraft or something? Well, kind of. You'll think you witchcraft when these bees come out of these hives at night.
Yeah, you get them moving, that's for sure.
So that's it is kind of funny. You got to read all the fine prints on these ads for sure.
My word, yeah.
Ain't none of it be simple anymore.
Yeah, so my thought was if I get it and it's zero, like with the VA, and it's zero down, then I could build my metal building out back with my money that I got, right? So if I don't have to put any down payment money.
Make you a bee store.
Yep. You'd have to drive out in the boonies to get it, but it'd be there.
We never have an equipment issue again, would you? That way.
Nope. I'd have a place to store everything. So, yeah, just a lot of stuff to work through.
Yeah, to think about that's another thing. Finding a shed or something to be able to put your stuff in.
Yep. Don't want to leave the riding lawnmowers and all out there and let someone borrow them without permission. Bet you Jasper's ears probably prick up every time.
He's out.
He's out now.
He's just about snoring over there in that chair.
Super.
See, I thought she was moving the trailer earlier, the way she was snoring.
He's a little
Dog
bigger
is
than
out.
that pillow.
He's got his spot over there.
Oh yeah, that's his chair.
Ma'am.
Having a good time, ain't
She got to do it harder now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Get that, yeah.
Is it freeze?
Mhm.
Oh.
We free? I think
We
everybody
back.
got quiet.
Anyhow, y'all, I think I'm gonna pop off of here and go see what they're doing about these houses out there. And I don't know if we'll go live tonight or not later on, but maybe if y'all show up, we'll be there probably.
You'll be loud.
All right, guys, we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.
Take care, man.
There you go. Put last name on
Mm-mm. You muted,
there. Be
Ed.
quiet, Ed.
I was saying I was getting ready to go. I need to go and make dinner. Hannah probably made you cornbread. I need to go make some of my own.
Hannah didn't cook tonight.
Nope. We
Didn't cook.
grabbed a plate earlier and come home. Ain't got a fool with none of that cooking.
Yeah.
But got to go put the chickens up. Let Jasper out. But we enjoyed it, Ed.
Good to see you.
I had fun too, and I'm glad Bob actually joined. It made it go a little bit better too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He helps at getting that dead air.
Mhm.
All right, guys.
Take care.
And well, everybody, I'll see y'all again probably later tonight if he has another live.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
man.
All right, later.
Y'all take care.
So we told you to get off your line.